Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the, and going up hard, Ticonderoga's number 10, Alex Prego, averaging 11.9 points a game. On the tip-off, was taking it right to the hoop, and he was hit hard as he went in for the basket. And Schofield with the, or Goki was called for the foul for Ticonderoga, or for Seton, I mean. But I'm Joey Trombley, calling today's game. Calvin Castine on the camera. Today is the second game of our triple header here today. In the first game, Westport beat the Mariah Vikings 47-33 to win the Class D championship. And now we're at the Class C championship game here between the Sentinels of Ticonderoga and the Knights of Seton Catholic. And it's 1-0 Ticonderoga on a Jake Taylor bucket. And Seton Catholic is free go now. I had that mixed up here when I started the game. It's Seton Catholic with the ball. They are in their green and blue uniforms and almost thrown away, but a nice save by number 10 Taylor. Or free go. This ball movement here by the Knights, and it's taken away by Ticonderoga and stolen back here by number 10 Frigo. Frigo will slow it up here for the Knights. Frejo. Calvin is correcting me here. He went down and got this all set up for me, and I just show up like Ted Baxter, as Joe Poisson likes to call me.
And murder it, right?
And then just butcher it up here. So Calvin is doing a triple play here today. He did the earlier game. Ike actually came in late into the fourth quarter and helped Calvin a little bit on that game. So I'm here for this game. And then, of course, the big daddy of them all, I guess you would say big daddy of them all, it's the Class B championship.
Main event.
The main event, the heavyweight event, will be the Chiefs of Saranac against the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton. And I'll tell you, Calvin, the Westport Mariah game, these stands were packed.
Yeah.
Not as packed here for this game, but of course, probably not a lot of fans make the trip from Ticonderoga.
There's a lot of purple shirts across the way.
Well, they decided to sit over there instead of over here. We have 6:42 here to go in the first quarter. It is a 1-0 Ticonderoga lead. Early on, I think I'm doing a baseball game, not a basketball game, as it's only 1-0, or maybe even a soccer game.
Well, as you know, Joey, from your days with Shazy, that these Class D schools, when they play, the whole town comes out, and I think that's what happened here with Mariah and with Westport. Everybody showed up.
No, you bring that up when of course, going down to the Final Fours in Oneonta for soccer. They will tell you down there, the officials down in Oneonta will tell you, you can tell where the D game's being played because it's 3 rows deep around the field, where the A and double A and C's, they have fans, but not to the near level that a Class D school would. And the reason being is they don't have as many sports.
Right. You've got, in all probability, just that soccer at that level, where the others have the football and whatever else, track, or not track, but cross country that time of the year, and so you don't have the strength. Plus, it's a community event.
Very much so. And we got this basketball game here, and it's good defense by both teams right now. Goki trying to penetrate, and he's called for a travel. And so turnover on the Knights, and the ball will go to Ticonderoga.
As I'm sure you know, Joey, Ticonderoga is the defending champions. You remember last year they defeated Seton Catholic 38-19 in that championship game, right?
Yeah, I was all over that.
Yeah, and the year before Seton defeated them 44-30, and Ty was the champion the year before that, 52-31. And then you have to go back to 2005 before a team other than those two competed, and that was Ticonderoga for Northern Adirondack.
What I've always been impressed with you, Calvin, is your memory, how you remember all this stuff. I mean, you call all these games, and it's amazing. You're like an encyclopedia of these statistics.
Yeah, I get them all in there in my memory, and you can ask me this 6 months from now, and I'll be able to tell you those scores.
Now, Calvin, you weren't supposed to show them the book we were peeking at because
in front of the camera.
I was trying to build you up into something spectacular, and you gave it away.
Well, I've already got legions of followers, so I don't need to mislead them.
It's a 3-1. It was a 3-point lead here, or a 3-point play by the Knights of Seton, as they lead 3-1 here in the first quarter with 5.5 to go. Ball inside, and we're talking before the game. That was number 44 for the Jess Clark, and he's as big as the Whalen guy that played for Mariah.
Yeah, he actually squatted on that shot. Instead of going up, he just kind of squatted. Didn't go in because he didn't have enough oomph behind it, but he's big enough he doesn't have to jump.
I don't know Jess Carter at all, but my guess is in the fall he might have played football.
Yes, he might have been some kind of a lineman, I would imagine.
I'm guessing offensive lineman. I want to have said the tight end, but
not a running back.
And the ball comes in. It's a nice play to push out. It goes into the hands of 21, Tanner Lacoye, but he traveled on that play. So the ball is turned over to the Sentinels, and taking it in is Jake Kelly. Kelly trying to find somebody. He gets it into the hands of Kearns. Kearns will slowly take it up, and he'll be picked up at midcourt by the Seton defense. And it's Kearns being picked up by Lacoye. Ball movement by the Sentinels into the hands of Clark. Back over to number 23, Kelly. Trying to move it around, stolen away by the Seton defense. And a frustration foul on the Sentinels, number 10, Jake Taylor.
You gotta have the mental discipline not to do those in the backcourt. Just it catches up with you when they start shooting the 1-and-1s and the double bonuses.
Yeah, I mean, it may not seem like a big deal now, but it will be if they get to that 7 foul mark in the first half. And it's number 10, Frejo. I'm messing this up like I used to do Fifield or MyFi or whatever I did there. MyFi?
Five-eye.
MyFi? Fi-My, whatever?
Five-eye.
I got it right yesterday, though, when I did call the girls game. But I had it in front of me so I could actually read it. And it's a 5-1 Seton lead. Now, do you know what happened during the season between Seton and Ticonderoga when they met?
They split during the season. Last time they met, it was kind of one-sided in favor of Seton Catholic, but as you and I saw at the Shazy tournament, Seton was very competitive against Northeastern, and the next night they had to hang on at the end there against Shazy. The Shazy came back against them, and so I think Seton shines sometimes, and sometimes they don't.
So we're looking at a team that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You don't know who's going to show up?
Well, I don't know if it gets as bad as Mr. Hyde, but maybe Dr. Jekyll and his son.
The ball is controlled here by the Knights here in the first quarter. They lead 5-1 with 3:51 to go here in the first quarter. It is Championship Saturday here at the Fieldhouse. 3 games on tap, and right now this is the second game on tap here for the championship. The winner of this game, I think, will go down to Section 2 Albany area, right, if they get into regional play?
I'm not sure, but that I haven't put that to my memory yet.
Well, the reason I would say that is because Section B is here. Section D is in Class B.
Class B is here, yeah.
Class D is down in Potsdam, so I'm going to guess Class C is down in the Albany area. And again, you're going back to your memory again.
Yes. According to this, it is at Section 2 next week. Class C is at Section 2 at 7 p.m.
And I want the fans to know I did not have the book in front of me when I called that. Calvin did. We have 3:15 to go here left in the first quarter. It's 5-1 Seton. I'm out, and it's the Sentinels with the ball. Taking it up for the Sentinels is number 12, Kearns. Kearns being picked up by LeCoyer. He gives the ball up to Damaris. Back out to Damaris. He squares up. And he nails the three-pointer, and just like that, it's a one-point ball game favoring the Knights of Seton Catholic. They'll slowly bring it up. What I've noticed with these two teams, it just seems like no big rush on offense or defense, just kind of set some plays up. Where last night watching the Northeastern girls, it was tenacious defense. The game coming up, the Mariah Westport game was very high intensity, but I haven't witnessed that yet.
I'm surprised that neither team is really putting the full court pressure on. Maybe they're afraid of early foul trouble. I don't know.
But it seems like there's a lack of intensity from both teams. Do you feel that way?
At this point, yeah, that can turn quickly. But yeah, neither.
It can be, but I mean, usually in the championship game, you come out fired up, and I have not seen that.
No, I concur.
And we concurred from Calvin Castine, the father of hometown cable, who has seen, I'll say, thousands of games and taped thousands of games, concurs with my assessment.
You're absolutely right.
You concur again?
I concur.
Ball goes inside to number 32, Kirby, and the bucket is made. It's 7-4 Seton Catholic, and taking the ball up is Kearns for the Sentinels, picked up by LeCoyer. Crosses midcourt, gives the ball up over to Taylor. Taylor gets it down low to Kelly. Kelly tries to go off take it off the glass, but rebounded by the Sentinels, and it goes into the hands of LeCoyer. So LeCoyer is the ball handler for Seton, and it is Kearns, the ball handler for the Sentinels. Ball into Schofield. All the way back out to the top of the key over to Frazier. Frazier with the ball. In the post for them is Kirby, but they are not finding Kirby. And we've said this before, and we've talked about this many times, when you got that zone defense, get the ball into the post, try to get the defense to collapse, and it opens it up for the outside shooters.
Well, it's against that 2-3 defense, yes.
And it's Gladding with the ball, giving it back over to Molina. Molina with the ball. Back over to Clark. Clark looking for somebody. He finds, I'm not sure that is.
Oh, T. Riley. It's
T. Riley.
It's spelled in the book with a small T, small E, and a capital R.
Okay, so T. Riley, okay. Well, right now it's into the hands of Goki. Goki calling the play. Off to the right is Pellerin. Off to the left is number 21, LeCoyer. He gets it inside to Schofield. Schofield back to LeCoyer. He's beyond the arc. Now penetrating. They're running one-hander. And a nice play by number 23, Goki. And he has opened up a 5-point Seton lead here in the first quarter with under 45 seconds to go. It's 9-4 Seton. And into the hands is Molina. Molina driving up to the basket. And it's knocked away by Clark. And we'll go back to Seton Catholic with 36 seconds to go.
I thought that one was off green, but referee Stahl is right there. We got the Stahl brothers out there, and Al Rose. Instead of a rose between thorns, we got a rose between stalls.
Al Rose has been reffing all kinds of games for decades here in the North Country, and he must be the father of referees here in the North Country.
He is among the oldest standing, but I would think Ron Giambruno probably started reffing before Al did, because Al coached for a couple of years when he first arrived on the scene.
Okay, but he's one of the elder statesmen.
One of them, yes.
That's right, you got Ron Giambruno, and then
Pete McMillan's been around a while, but he's not as old as Al and Ron.
And at the buzzer, Gladding tried to make a three-pointer, but it was off the rim. And the first quarter has come to an end with Seton leading this championship game at 9-4. Okay, we're back to start the second quarter. 9-4 Seton. Seton comes into this game with a 12-9 record. Seton Catholic with a 13-7 record. And of course, with the new ruling from the association, the sporting association of the state, the games will be playing 2 less games next year in basketball and in soccer.
Yeah, some of the teams aren't playing their full schedule anyway because, I don't think the Mountain Valley League, unless they schedule a lot of non-league games, plays their full 20. But it's going to affect tournaments and stuff like that because CVAC doesn't have any room to give. They've got to pretty much play a 16-game schedule if they're going to be balanced.
Right, and I know what the premise was for, but that there's no big savings. That's not the way to go about it.
It's just somebody sitting there saying, look what we're doing, that's all. It's just a bunch of baloney.
And it's the kids that suffer, and then the community members who support them and enjoy what they see will be shortchanged a couple games.
Yeah, but if you go back to a long time ago, I know some of the soccer seasons were 6, 7, 8 games long to begin with. So these longer seasons are relatively new if you're going back a long ways.
But times are changing, and that's one of the changes. We're 6:40 here to go in the second quarter. Driving to the hoop. Nice feed over to Clark. Clark doesn't get the roll, and it's nice rebound by number 21, LaCoyer, to take it away from Jesse Clark. That says something because Clark had him in size all the way around.
What I've seen Clark do a couple times is not really follow through on his shots. He's big enough that he should follow through and make sure that ball goes in.
He could be more dominating than he is underneath there.
I think so.
Oh, nice feed. And a nice shot by number 15, Damaris. He averages 7.1 points a game. So he gets on the scoreboard at 6 Seton with 6 minutes to go. It's man-to-man defense here by the Sentinels. And the Knights trying to move the ball around, moving into the paint. Nice inside move by Caleb Goki, who is 13.2 points a game, is their leading scorer, so it's not surprising to see him finish that play.
No, Seton's got a scrappy, well-balanced team. They don't have a lot of size, but you got guys like a guy like Kirby who can hit you on the outside, hit you on the inside, and they've got a nice team out there. I'm not familiar with Ty.
Well, Larry Converse has played basketball. I mean, he's been around basketball at least as long as I've known him, and that's been like 30 years. And so they got an experienced coach down there too at the helm.
He's been around a while.
And going to the line is number 33, Evan Gladding. He makes the first one. It's 11-7 Seton. Coming into the game is Schofield. Coming out of the game is Kirby. This is the second one, goes into the hands. Nice shot off the glass, in and out. And Damaris got robbed on that one and rebounded by the Knights. And LaCoyer was trying to get the ball from Frazier, and he's called for the travel. So turnover Ticonderoga, and Larry Converse calls a timeout with 5:10 to go here in the second quarter. Ticonderoga trailing Seton Catholic 11-7. And we're back from the timeout. The ball's in the Sentinel hands of number 12, Kearns. 5 minutes here in the second quarter. Very low-scoring game here for a championship game. Oh, nice feed. And number 10, Taylor, missed the shot. They're fighting for that ball. And the arrow favors Ticonderoga. And T. Riley taking the ball out here for the Sentinels, all the way back over to Kearns. Beyond the arc as Kearns tries to find Clark, knocked away. And losing his dribble is number 10, Frijo, but he gives it up over to LeCoyer. LeCoyer at midcourt now into Seton territory. Gives it up over to Goki. Passes it back over to Bombard. LeCoyer with the ball. Good defense here by the Sentinels. Loose ball. And nice job by number 12, Schofield, going on the ground to save that ball. And now Ticonderoga, the intensity of their defense. Oh my God. What a shot by Caleb Goki as the shot clock was going down. That was well beyond NBA three-point land.
It's a desperation, and it went in. That's all that matters.
And and for Ticonderoga, the intensity of the defense picked up on that trip down the floor, and they had nothing to show for it.
Yeah, they got to see a great shot.
Yeah. Well, I saw Coach Gary Casta, and you might know him, coach of the Saranac Chiefs, before the game. He said, Gary, it should be a really good game today. And he goes, I hope not. Of course, Gary and his dry humor, right?
What was he rooting for?
I didn't ask him. He figures he's a winner either way.
He's here. Either his alumni school goes or his coaching school goes.
Exactly. And a foul called on number 23, Jake Kelly. And I mean, of course, we talked about the intensity. It shows on the scoreboard for the fouls. It's only 4 fouls to 3.
Yeah. No, that's not much for this point. Not much points up there either.
No, that's what I mean. It's 14-7. Number 10, Jake Taylor is playing some real tight man-to-man defense for Ticonderoga. I'm impressed the way he's playing his, doing his position down there.
He's playing hard. They're bouncing off each other down there, and the ref's got to make sure that doesn't get too much out of hand.
And it is Kearns taking the ball up here for the Sentinels. Over to Taylor, back over to Kearns. Man-to-man defense from both teams.
Looks like the Northeastern cheerleaders are here. We haven't had any cheerleaders yet. It's this second game of the day, 4 teams, no cheerleaders.
Right, and we're talking the number 1 rated cheerleading squad of the North Country.
CVAC champions.
CVAC champions down at Bateman Town School. And they're here, and they'll be here in force to cheer on the Cougars.
I would hope that they'd be cheering for the Cougars and not for Saranac, but you know how cheerleaders are.
No, I don't. How are they?
They go with whoever gives them the best offer.
I got to admit, the girls are very impressive down there. They're in sync, and they very loud, and they do inspire the crowd.
Yeah, they've worked hard to be number 1 for a good number of years. If not number 1, then they finished in the top 2 year after year in the last 4 or 5 years.
They do. They work very hard at that. Oh, nice move by number 32, Kyle Kirby. It's a 9-point Seton lead, 16-7. When this game started, Calvin, I would have said at the 2-minute mark in the second quarter that Ticonderoga would be in double digits for a score.
I'm sure nobody would have bet against you.
Another reason why I don't go to the casino.
All right.
On a daily basis. And a foul on the Sentinels. And it was on John Molina, his first foul. 16 fouls on the Sentinels, only 3 on Seton. And it's Kirby with the ball here, being guarded by Clark. And he gets it in over to Frijo. Frijo all the way over to Schofield. I'm glad Calvin's here to correct me. Just some names just don't click with me, Calvin.
Well, I got it wrong all year long, but Foxy Gagnon always makes sure he gets it pronounced right. So I listened to him when he did the introductions last week, and that's how I'm getting it right this week.
So credit goes to Foxy Gagnon, who's down at the scorer's table, the announcer for these 3 games.
He and his ponytail are down there, yes.
Of course, Foxy was a teacher at Saranac, right?
No, Plattsburgh Middle School.
Plattsburgh Middle School. Well, last year, Galen's senior year, he came in for a long-term substitution. Galen had him, and he had a wonderful time with him. He said Foxy did a really nice job.
Yeah, Foxy was a popular teacher at Stafford Middle School. It was unfortunate circumstances that brought him to Chazy last year with a bad accident that Catherine Brown had. But
that's correct.
Catherine appears to be doing real well, and she's such a bubbly, nice person that I always wish her the best.
She is a wonderful teacher. I've had the pleasure of seeing Catherine in action from the drama club and from what she does with the students with the English department, and she is definitely on top of her game.
Yep, and when I heard the accident on the radio, I couldn't believe it was her because I didn't think she was as old as the person they said was on the radio. I'm not going to give her age away.
No, I won't either.
She certainly doesn't look her age.
But that was on the curve of where I live.
Was it?
It was, yeah. We're back from the timeout. It's Seton ball, and it comes into the hands of LeCoyer. Now all the way over to Frazier. I got it right, Frazier.
Think of Muhammad Ali saying Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier. Frazier. Well, after the game, the girls' game last night, I saw Jim McComb, and I said, I just want you to know when you watch the film, Calvin and I have a name for your daughter. And he asked what it was. I told him the Macomb Bomb. Well, he got a kick out of that.
Well, I couldn't believe when I read the paper today that Katrina Guerin was held scoreless in last night's game against Peru. She's the second leading scorer for the Cougars, and she didn't take a lot of shots, but if you told me that Katrina Guerin was going to be 0 in scoring column, I would have said Northeastern must have lost, but
well, that shows how well balanced they are.
Yeah, in that first half you had both of the Brooks girls step up there. They ended up both with 9 points, but for a while Courtney would get open and a couple hustling plays from Chelsea. So that's a nice thing about Northeastern. Different players have stepped up throughout the year and stepped up at when somebody else wasn't able to step up at that particular time. Somebody else is able to step in there and get the job done.
Well, it's a coach's dream to have a deep bench. There's no doubt about that.
Yep, and
Calvin, we just hit double digits here.
There we go.
Hats off to Ticonderoga. They've scored their 11th point of the half, and the first half comes to an end. A very low-scoring first half here for a championship game. Seton Catholic 18. And we're back to start the second half. The first half favored the Knights of Seton Catholic, and they come right out on the jump ball, and it's number 23 Goki makes the bucket, so it's a 9-point lead. And if you're Ticonderoga, you didn't want to see that happen, as they only scored 11 points in the first half. And if they want to win this game, they're going to have to offensively get their game going. And a good play there by Jake Kelly to get that offensive rebound, because you aren't going to win a state or a championship on 22 points.
Especially when the other team has 20 already.
Yeah, it's not going to work. So I'm sure the coach for Ticonderoga said, you got to get going here, because this is a championship game and you shouldn't be scoring 11 points and a half.
I'm sure Dan Dorsett was not happy when he went to the locker room.
Well, you know, the shots just aren't falling for these guys. It's 20-13 right now. Seton, that'll be over and back. And it's over and back. It does look like a good floor that you can dive on. You don't get hurt too bad. It's pretty soft.
It's soft, but I don't know if you slide too well on it. I don't know what you get for floor burns.
And of course, you know, it's a different floor that they're used to playing on, so that's a little different too. Oh, nice play. Number 12, Robert Kearns, takes it right in, so it's 20-15. So I've seen more offensive output in a minute and a half from Ticonderoga than I did the first half.
Actually, in 45 seconds.
Yeah, 45 seconds. So I got to believe we talked in the first half, and there's another nice shot by Caleb Goki. Has got the hot hand for the Knights. The first half we said it was lacking any kind of intensity, but I got the feeling you're going to see it pick up here in the second half.
Oh, we certainly hope so, because we want people to stick around and watch this, right, Joey?
Yes, we do. And speaking of hometown cable, Calvin, I haven't talked about this in a bit. This is viewer supported. There is no money coming in from the federal government, the state government. It is viewer supported and business supported. So if you're watching this and you've made donations in the past and haven't done it recently, if you could send a donation to Hometown Cable, 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York. Did I get that right?
That is correct, and I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that nobody involved in this game on either team has ever supported Hometown Cable, so maybe it's time that they stepped up and did something.
Well, that would be nice. And and if you've never ever have given to Hometown Cable and you do watch the station, please give a donation. I was just talking to Calvin last night. 2 of his cameras went down, and it was $1,300 to repair those cameras. I'm not sure if Calvin wanted me to say that on air, but the point being is he doesn't do this for free. There is expense to do this, and he's got to pay for the cable stations, he's got to pay for his cameras, he's got his gas going to these events. And as we've talked about before, we've lost some people in the local community, some, I guess you call them prominent people. Anybody that you lose is prominent, and you have them on tape, and those are hometown memories.
So I always feel privileged when someone passes away. I'm sad to see them go, but I'm always privileged to be able to pull out a copy of a program we've done with them and then share that with the community so that these people will be remembered. And that's a nice thing I like, even though my good buddy Bob Ben has been dead for almost 12 years now. He lives on every week.
He's been gone that long. I just can't believe he's been gone.
He's on there just about every week on Hometown Cable, and as long as I'm around, Bob Ben will still be around.
Well, and then I know Lucky Clark just passed away, and you ran that show with his son there.
Clyde Lewis.
Clyde Lewis show was a great one. Kevin Kuchar was a great one. And I mean, you're going through there. Kenny LaPlante, that's another one. And boy, when you're going through there and you know they've just passed and you see that, I mean, you're glued to the TV. It's hometown memories.
Yeah, what they've said now becomes that much more important because they've been silenced.
Well, again, that's what Hometown Cable can do for you. So, it is, you need money to run this thing, and any donation would be definitely appreciated. I said this before, we don't think twice about paying our cable bill or making a donation to Hometown or PBS, which I think you should. Don't get me wrong, you should support PBS, but also support Hometown Cable.
Yep, because you're a volunteer. This is what I'm trying to do for a living, and nobody is paying me to be here, so I'm getting $0 unless somebody steps up and sends in a donation.
And and here's the thing, Calvin is here today for the Seton Catholic Knights and the Ticonderoga Sentinels, and nobody from those 2 teams have made a donation to Hometown Cable, but yet here's Calvin here taping this game for the viewing audience of the North Country.
And I just finished Westport and Mariah because it's history of our area. If I don't save these games, who will?
Well, as we've been kibitzing about a Hometown Cable, it's a 24-19 Seton lead, and we've seen a much more offensive third quarter than we did all the first half.
Yeah, we're only 3 minutes into the second half, and we're seeing some action out there.
Now this is what I expect. Nice play by Clark. This is what I kind of expect from a championship game, not what I saw in the first half.
Well, I think both teams took the first half off, saving it for the second half.
Well, they've picked up the intensity here, and they picked up the offensive firepower here in the third quarter. It's 24-21 Seton. The first half ended 19-11 in favor of the Sentinels, or the Knights, I mean. And a nice shot by LeCoyer, and it's back to a 5-point game. So offensively, they're going back and forth.
Yeah, and it's not because the defense is let down. They're just both playing more aggressively here on the offense.
And it was Taylor trying to find Clark, but it's taken away here. Nice move here by Kirby, it looks like. And a nice put-up. Actually, the put-up was by Kirby. So it's 28-21. And number 23, Caleb Goki. Nope, it's It's Caleb Goki who's scoring all these baskets here for Seton. Number 23. Taylor with the ball for the Sentinels. He gives it up over to Kelly. Kelly goes into the paint. And skying for the rebound. Nice job. Number 32, Kyle Kirby. He is fouled. And that will be looks like the third or fourth foul here on Ticonderoga. Coming in is number 15 for Ticonderoga is Damaris, and number 3, Pellerin for Seton. Frazier with the ball. And he gives it up to LaCoyer and stolen away. Nice hustle by Jake Taylor. And he gets the layup, but that doesn't surprise me because Taylor's been playing some real aggressive basketball.
Yeah, and you always feel good when you get that steal and a layup. Remember my old buddy Roy Hebert, who used to play basketball for me, and once in a while against me too, but every once in a while Roy was a big guy, and he'd tip the ball away from somebody just about mid-court and tip it a good distance down and go in for that layup. He'd do that about once or twice a year, and you'd see the big grin on his face.
And it was LaCoyer just finishes that shot. And the three-pointer by number 15, Damaris. And Seton Catholic scores 11 points in the first half, have scored 15 already with just about 3 minutes left here to go in the third. And it's 30-26 Seton lead.
Well, that's Ticonderoga scored 11 and 15, yes.
What did I say?
You said Seton, but you were close. You were close.
The Sentinels, I meant.
Yeah, okay.
The Sentinels.
Okay.
Well, we're back from the Seton timeout, and we were talking at halftime during the break. We said the intensity had to pick up for this to be an exciting championship game, and this third quarter is now living up to the billing that it is, a championship game. Seton up by 4 over the Sentinels, and both teams are getting hot here out there, and here goes another shot. And it could be they're also getting more comfortable with this board and the depth perception.
It could be. You know, you take Ticonderoga. They haven't played since the season ended. They didn't have, Seton's only played 1 game since the season ended because you only got 3 teams in the Section 7 Class C ranks. So Ty hasn't played in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, so you're going to be rusty. And they throw that away, and it's picked up here by the Knights of Seton Catholic, and it comes into the hands of LaCoyer. Tanner LaCoyer with the ball for Seton, crosses midcourt. And he goes far side. And it comes back into the hands of Kirby. And an offensive foul on LaCoyer, it looks like. And the foul is actually called on number 10, Frazier.
Happened away from the ball.
Okay.
I think it was out of camera range too.
Well, Calvin, at every game you must have like 5 cameras all around, so you can probably pick up the angle somewhere.
I will check one of the other cameras later.
Well, you got those 2 fixed, right? So yeah, okay. And we're back from the timeout, and Ticonderoga trailing by 4, and it's full court pressure here by the Seton Catholic Knights, and it goes into the hands of number 14, Molina. Molina crosses center court. Man-to-man defense here by the Sentinels of Seton Catholic off the leg, but back into the hands of Molina. And squaring up was Gladway, but he gets it inside, and there's a foul on Clark. Clark has good size under there. He just needs to be a little more aggressive with that size because he could intimidate a lot of people.
Well, he just got aggressive there, and he picked up his second foul.
I'm not sure that was aggressive, but it wasn't the type of aggressiveness I was thinking of. Fouling somebody as they're running away from you is not the kind of aggressiveness I was thinking. And the ball goes into number 23, Goki. Ball movement by the Knights. They're moving it around the perimeter beyond the arc. And number 3, Pellerin nails a 3-pointer. And it's a 7-point Seton lead with 1:05 here to go in the third quarter. Molina with the ball. Gives up his dribble down to Clark. Clark dribbles, trying to go up, and he's fouled. And it looks like a foul on Kyle Kirby is what it looks like. And Clark will go to the line for 2.
He drew the foul, but he shouldn't have put that ball to the floor. He's big enough there. He doesn't need that last dribble.
Well, it's championship Saturday. They'll give you that extra step like the NBA. He could have taken it to the hoop. I mean, we know that Michael Jordan never traveled in the NBA.
If you don't travel in the NBA, you don't make it.
And I'm not sure who got that foul, but I thought Molina had all ball on that one. It is on Molina. So going to the line is Goki for Seton as they lead 33-26.
At this point, they both scored 15 here in the second half.
And makes the first one.
I said that just in time. Now it's 16-15.
Now it's 16. Whew. Goki makes the second one, so it's 35-26, and they've almost doubled their output for the first half. They had 18 in the first half, and now they got 35. Seton doubled theirs, or not Seton, but Ticonderoga.
More than double theirs, yeah.
More.
And let's hope we got more of the same in the fourth from both teams.
The fans paid to see that. They demand it.
Get their $5 worth.
Well, if you're watching your second game, it's only $2.50.
Well, if you came for this one, this is the one you want to see the action in. Even if you stay for the other one and you watch the first one besides this one. Some people are here for all three.
Oh, what a finish by Frazier. Nice job to protect the ball going up, and now a technical on number 33, Evan Gladding. And frustration got the best of Gladding there, Calvin.
I didn't see what happened. I imagine he said something. Or...
Yeah, it was words.
Looks like he'll be sitting, which is what you got to do if you're a coach. You got to yank him out of there. Because Knights will get the ball now after the foul shots.
Sure. Now will come the technical. And it's 2 shots plus possession.
Right.
He makes the first one. Misses the second, so Gladding, it will be sitting down, and I wonder if the coach will just leave him there now.
5.2 seconds.
We'll see if the rest of the game.
Yeah, we'll see if Seton will take advantage of that 5 seconds. They won't.
No, they won't. And the third quarter has come to a much more exciting quarter than the first two. It is Seton leading Ticonderoga 38-26. And we're starting the fourth quarter here. Championship Saturday. It's the Knights of Seton Catholic leading the Sentinels of Ticonderoga 38-26. I'm Joey Trombley calling today's action along with Calvin Castine on the camera for Hometown Cable. Well, Seton's going to need a big fourth quarter here, Calvin, and Molina says, yes, we will, and he makes the shot. Seconds into the fourth quarter, cuts it down to 10.
Once again, you said Seton thinking Sentinels.
There's too many yeses there, Calvin. we talked about this too. That's one of the problems you have when you really haven't seen the teams this year. Trying to keep them straight as you're looking at the roster and going back and forth. Another reason why ESPN has not called me. One of many.
They will be calling though.
One of many.
Once this gets on the internet, they'll be calling.
Yeah. Throw this on YouTube and watch what happens.
Plattsburgh.com.
Plattsburgh.com. Check it out. How much showing do you have on there now?
In the archives, we've got about 250 of the programs, but we're now running Channel 24, streaming it continuously, with not live, but live on tape, on DVD. And probably Monday, I'm going to set up an extra channel, and I'll just throw in a different DVD every day. Just let something run. It'll be an old ball game. It'll be a different thing. It'll be just something else. People tune in. They don't like what's on and not particularly interested in what's on. We'll give them something else to look at. Now, long-range plans are to have 4 or 5 different channels running.
Now, I got to believe that you're able to tell how many clicks or viewers are checking it out on a daily basis?
Yeah, as far as the live program, when I shut it off last night, I had, I think, 185 had checked out the live feed. And on the viewing on demand, the counter is right there on the event. And we've got some that are approaching the 1,000 hit marks.
Wow. So it's catching on then.
Oh yeah.
So every show we got to say Plattsburgh.com. We have 6:41 here left in the fourth quarter in this championship game. Seton leading Ticonderoga by 10, 40-30. And the miss there, and it's, nice hustle by the Seton Catholic Knights here. Number 3, Pellerin, did a nice job taking that ball away. And he gives it up to Frazier, over to LeCoyer, back to Pellerin. Down low, nice play. Goki misses it, and it's off his hands, but nice ball movement from the Knights of Seton Catholic.
Yeah, they're moving the ball well. They're hustling on defense. We got a 10-point lead, and they're certainly not satisfied with that.
No, there's a lot of game left with 6 minutes to go. And a nice play from number 30, Hines, or not Hines, but T. Riley. And here comes Seton, and that'd be before the shot, I would think.
It certainly should be. We'll see.
Yeah, it is. And it's a double. They're in double foul shooting right now.
Oh, double bonus, yeah.
Double bonus. But that just shows you how much the intensity that the Ticonderoga picked up here in the second half shows on the fouls.
Yeah, Seton managed to gain a little bit of ground, but only have 3 fouls on him right now.
And both shots were made, so it's back to a 10-point game. Just under 6 minutes to go. And it's Schofield with the ball for the Sentinels. We'll keep wanting to say Seton, Calvin. Goki taking the ball in. He gets it up over to Kirby. Taken away by Kelly. Inside, Molina with the shot. Missed it. Nice tap in by Jake Kelly, and timeout called by the coach. And he's got the clipboard there. He's got something he wants to point out to the kids. It's 42-34 with 5:33 to go. And we're back from the timeout, the Ticonderoga timeout. I'm just going to say Ticonderoga and Seton, and we'll probably be able to keep it straight that way. Seton with the ball. It's Frazier being picked up by Taylor. and it goes over to the far side, over to LeCoyer. He's being double teamed. Gets it in over to 23, Goki. Frazier with the ball. Now going to the top of the key outside the three-point line. Comes here over to the near side, over to Pellerin. Out to Kirby. Back over to, nice shot by Frazier. And it's rebounded by the Ticonderoga Sentinels. And coming up the floor is Taylor. Has it knocked away, and it goes into the hands of LeCoyer. LeCoyer gives it up over to Goki. Goki down low, and nice block there. That's Frazier got the shot off, but it was partially blocked. Goes back into his hands. Pellerin goes inside. Nice ball movement. And Frazier was fouled by number 23, Jake Kelly, pretty hard.
Kelly just made that nice block a couple of seconds ago, and he was going for another block. This time he got a lot of body.
As they say, Calvin, stuff happens.
Who says that?
They.
They do.
Who they are, I don't know, but they do say it. Misses the first one. Makes the second. So now it's 43-34. Seton 4 minutes and 30 seconds away from taking the Class C title. Oh, nice move by Overberg, Dylan Overberg. I haven't said his name much today, but it's 43-36. And not only would they win the title, they would dethrone the current champion.
Yep, that's always nice if you're on the winning side.
Travel called on Kearns. And you don't usually see a mistake like that from their ball handler, but an inopportune time, turnover on Kearns.
Well, he had a place he wanted to go with the ball, and somehow that spot wasn't open, and he ended up dragging his back foot.
Ball's into Frazio's hands, and it was given to Goki, and he threw it away. So 3:41 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a 7-point Seton lead. Ticonderoga with the ball. Timeout, Seton.
5-pound animal, $110.
And we're back from the timeout. 3:39 to go here left in the game. A 7-point Seton lead. Ticonderoga with the ball. Going over to Molina. Inside to Taylor. Taylor looking to penetrate. He does. Gets the shot off. And nice shot baseline. Taylor. It's now a 5-point game. And so Ticonderoga's hanging around. They're creeping back in it, Calvin.
5 points. Awfully close.
Oh, nice look up there. Nice finish by Frazier. And, you know, as a coach, you're wondering, how does somebody get down there so wide open? What's the defense doing?
Well, anytime you press like that, you can leave spots open. And if you break a press, you got a good chance to get a layup like that, what the Knights did that time.
And nice rebound by Goki, and a foul by Taylor. And going to the line for two will be Goki, as they are in a bonus. And Kyle Kirby to the line for two. This is the first one. Coming into the game for is Robert T. Riley. Coming out is Molina. Second one is good. Now an 8-point lead, and Pellerin coming back into the game. Coming out is Schofield. 2 minutes and 45 seconds here left in the fourth. Seton with an 8-point lead here in this championship game here at the Fieldhouse on the 7th day of March 2009. Kearns with the ball over to T. Riley. He drives, and he'll be fouled on the ground. Well, only the 4th foul on Seton here in the second half, so they've done a good job with the fouls.
Either they've been very clean or they've been fooling the refs.
Which is it?
Let the viewer decide.
We'll let the viewer decide. If you came in late, go to Plattsburgh.com and catch it streamlined
That's right.
live on Plattsburgh.com.
Now we will be doing some live programming right at this point in time. We're looking to see if we can do the Chamber of Commerce Irishman of the Year breakfast on the 17th, which will be
On a live stream?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
By the time this is being shown, it'll be known whether we've done that or not. But my intent is to also, if I go out and tape a particularly good game, is go out and make a quick copy and then put it on overnight, let people watch it that weren't able to make the game.
Well, that's what you used to do back in the infant years of hometown cable. I remember you used to do a ball game and have it on that night, I think, or the next day.
Yeah. But as the volume grew, we had to stretch it out more, and we get things on our channel 24 that, besides what I tape and what somebody like Sam might help me out by taping, but we also get during the winter months we get the Plattsburgh State hockey games. Foxy will send up stuff that has an interest in our northern viewing area, and so we get a few other things besides the stuff that I'm taping, and I'm out taping 12 events a week, so it kind of backs up after a while.
Yeah, I've always wondered how you did that, because you do a lot of taping, but I also know you always find time to go back to hometown memories too. You pull out some old stuff.
Yes, and we'll be. My plan is to have, within a year or two, to have a couple of channels devoted entirely to memories, to have it so people can, watch games from the 80s and 90s in this first decade of the 21st century. We are completing the first decade this year.
Wow. Well, it's funny. You go back to those 80s, and I really want to thank you for that, because my kids pick on me when they look back at their dad back in the 1980s. So thank you, Calvin.
Well, not quite in 80. I didn't start taping until 83. But
I said 80s.
Yeah.
And there's the shot and the rebound, and there's a foul. But they still aren't in any one-on-one situation. And when you keep it under 7, there's the benefit, because you can't get hurt on the foul line.
Yeah, and it forces Ty to come down and have to earn their points.
Well, they're only down by 4 buckets, 8 points.
And it takes time off the clock, too.
Molina squared up for the 3. He missed it. And like you say, when you cheat up there, nice protection of the ball. Lecoyer knew he was being chased from behind. He protected it, took it in. It's a 10-point Seton lead. And they're only a minute 40 away from dethroning Ticonderoga as the reigning Class C champions.
Yeah, Ty, let's see, they scored, they probably scored as much this year as they did last year.
Yeah, they scored 39 last year.
And 38. They 38 last year and won. Seton, difference is they scored 19 last year.
So offensively they're the same, defensively they've gotten worse.
Right. Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Of course, we're just joking. If you're a Ticonderoga fan, we're having a little fun up here. And Molina with the ball, minute 16 to go. Kelly, Molina for the 3. He misses it. Nice rebound by Kirby. Gives it up over to Lecoyer. Or Frazier, I should say. Frazier's foul, so he'll go to the line for 2 more.
Well, 1:04 left in the game. We're hoping now that the fouls will let up a little bit. Maybe to play out the last minute without much interruption.
It's now an 11-point game. It's a 6-possession game or 4, depending if they're 3 points or 2 points. Molina with the ball. over to Kearns. Three-pointer, in and out. And nice hustle by T. Riley. Underneath. And nice hard move inside by Kearns. So he'll get two, and he'll get a chance to make it a three-point play.
And if he makes it, he'll cut it down to an 8-point game. But we got only 44.4 left to go.
Maybe get the ball down quick, a three-pointer, hit a couple of them, and it changes the whole complexion. And timeout called. And we're back from the timeout. And the ball goes into Golke. He's fouled. I know what he's upset about. That's what he wanted.
He's upset because he obviously thought he didn't foul him, but it sure looked like...
I think the coach wanted him to foul to get him to the line so they get a chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, but you want to steal it if you can.
True. But he didn't steal it.
Right.
So that was the next best thing.
Well, at this point in time, I'm not sure. I think the best thing is to play it out.
Well, if he makes this a 10-point game, 41 seconds, I would think so, but some coaches will go right to the end. As they say, Calvin, it's not over till the fat lady sings, but she is definitely warming up big time. And we're back from the timeout, 40 seconds to go here. And they need to get some three-pointers up really quick. And they're going to Molina. He'll take it back, pushes out. Why he penetrated in, I don't know. Molina going up again. He misses. This game should be done. Hopefully there's no fouls. 15.2 to go, and Seton Catholic will be the C championship, or C champion this year, Calvin.
Yeah, Coach Dorsett just threw in 3 of his bench players here, so they'll get 15.2 seconds of glory out there.
And they'll just bounce it out. 10 seconds. And they're just going to let it play out here. And so Seton Catholic will be the C champion. And it is officially over. Seton Catholic wins the C championship 53-43. And they get a little bit of revenge from last year's loss to the Ticonderoga Sentinels.
I doubt if they're worried about last year. People have short memories. All they care about is what happens this year, and last year is long forgotten as far as Seton's concerned.
Well, it was a game that definitely lacked intensity in the first half. It picked up in the second half. It was only 18-11 at the half. So you had 35 points for Seton in the second half, and you had 32 points for Ticonderoga in the second half. So definitely picked up in intensity and offensive scoring for both teams. And what turned into a rather lackluster game turned into a rather exciting game.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to call it exciting, but it certainly got a lot more interesting.
Well, better than it was in the first half.
Right.
And we'll just let you take in the presentation of the awards to both teams.
Chris Wilson, Robert Corelli, Evan Ryan, Brian Loger, Anthony Barneo, Jake Miller, Robert Kearns, John Molina, Jake Kelly, Jesse Clark, and the Ticonderoga coach, Mr. Dan Dorsett. And now introducing your Section 7 Class C champion, Seton Catholic Second School, Chase Bellerin, Nick Sorrell, Carson Hines. Kyle Vandenberg. Caleb Mulkey. The Seton County coach, Mr. Larry Comfort. Your Section 7 Class C champion, Seton County, Central School.
So that'll wrap it up. Our thanks to Joey Schrompy for taking us to Section 7 Class C championship basketball at the Plattsburgh State Fieldhouse. That's the way it was. March 7th, 2009.